Hello folks, it's Charlie in Westeros here, and I'm back once again with another Game of Thrones review video. And today what I will be reviewing is the brand new, just released today, first chapter of the Game of Thrones computer game, or video game, since it is available on the PS4 by the company A Telltale series. And following that, I will share with you guys about 10 minutes of video footage of me, I guess, just playing the game, so you can check it out for yourselves if you like. But first things first, I just want to say that overall, the game is a lot of fun. It basically follows the story of family members from a vassal house to the Starks, the Foresters. Now, the family has not yet appeared in the book series A Song of Ice and Fire, nor has it appeared in the TV show Game of Thrones, so they're completely new to the series itself, and I guess questionably canon or not, since, you know, they haven't yet appeared in either versions of the series. But as you will see from the clip following my review, the story does start itself off just before the events of the Red Wedding, and overall it seems to be more in line with the Game of Thrones story as presented in the TV show rather than the books, especially since you get the Game of Thrones TV show theme song and intro, which occurs at the beginning of the of this video game, and also by the fact that you have a number of the characters in the TV show portrayed almost identically in the game, and you have, I'm pretty sure, the same actors rendering the voices of those same characters in the video game, like Marjorie, Ramsay Bolton, Cersei, Tyrion, the list goes on, really. Nevertheless, this fact does not hinder the story in any way. In fact, I would say the storyline aspect of the game is its greatest strength, actually, and I think this is a good place to start talking about those good aspects of the game. So, you basically follow a variety of characters who are either members of House Forrester, or at least associated with House Forrester, and from there you engage in dialogue with a wide range of characters, both canon and non-canon, in order to basically just help guide those characters and guide the storyline in general. From start to finish of this first chapter released for the game, I was completely hooked, and let me tell you, the twists and turns are just as shocking in this game as they are in the TV show and in the book series, so definitely two thumbs up for that. The appearance of the game is relatively nice to look at as well. However, I think the most interesting part is truly that the story does change quite a bit depending on how you interact with each individual in the game, and it does give you a strange feeling of being somewhat in control of your own destiny and the storylines that develop, which is really quite neat when you think about it. All the characters in the game are, also very well developed, unique, they're incredibly interesting and engaging as well, so this fact certainly adds a feel that the game, really feels like you're just following the book series A Song of Ice and Fire, or the TV show, but in a computer game, since your point of view switches between characters and follows their stories quite directly, and only, you get more control over their fates than you might in the TV show or the books, or at least one would be led to think that anyway. Now, in spite of those creative and unique ways that the storyline takes place, or at least approaches the game, I have to say it is lacking in a few other respects, unfortunately. For example, the gameplay is quite linear in the sense that you're not an active character who's able to go and explore an open world at his own pace, and you're kind of forced to interact with other characters through a sequence of dialogues, and your character movement is basically just limited to a single specific room or a tiny portion of road that you're in at that time in the game. So you really can't go exploring. You really can't go exploring or do anything all that creative, unfortunately. And I know this is probably the style of the A Telltale Games series, at least, but in terms of a computer game, or at least a video game in general, it is, quite limiting, I feel, anyway. Along with that, you do not have to, you don't have the ability to, level up or collect any items, so the game definitely does not have that MMO or just RPG feeling to it, nor does it play like, I guess, a first-person shooter, or I guess a first-person sword wielder, in the case of this period, at least. So, again, the genre isn't all that extensive beyond just being, I guess, a storyline type of game, or a storybook kind of game. The only few instances you are actually engaged in a fight or a conflict, your only options really in those specific matters are usually just to either spam press a certain button to, I guess, make the action or gesture happen, or you have to basically click the up, down, left, right buttons on your keyboard to, I guess, dodge an attack or move out of the way of something, and, you know, so on and so forth. So very limited in terms of, you know, the fighting or combat style of the game. So yeah, added to that fact, obviously, is that the game really is not all that challenging either, other than those few moments where I would do maybe a misclick at the beginning, or maybe my mouse might not respond properly. And I do say that as someone who's really not an incredibly active gamer, so it is another slight letdown in my opinion. And also, I couldn't get the game to open in a full screen mode, and I don't know if that's just me, but I had to play a windowed mode version of it, so it can be quite annoying to keep the mouse cursor within that small frame. Also, especially since the game, you know, demands you clicking left and right. Sometimes it can be a bit, you know, troubling if you are trying to do a certain gesture and you get killed over and over again for stupid reasons like that. But luckily, the keyboard does function as a good replacement for that, so I guess you don't need to use the mouse anyway. But beyond that, I must say the game is released in chapters every once in a while, so it does go by very fast. I mean, I just finished the first chapter maybe in a couple of hours just today, if even less than that, so it's a really, really quick, short game, or at least in terms of how it's being released. So, in short, because it is a Game of Thrones game, I feel like it is pretty amazing, but if I need to be objective about it, I would probably give it like a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10 maybe, with most points being lost on the gameplay itself, but most points being given towards the story, which, you know, has really kept me immersed and into the game. So I definitely think that it is worth buying and trying out. It is maybe on the pricier end, given how simplistic it is in a sense. It's close to $30 Canadian, which is the price I paid for it. I got mine off of the game selling program, I guess that's what it's called, Steam. So yeah, please don't hesitate to go check it out there if you're interested. And before I play the first few minutes of this game in this video, I would like to say that, you know, don't hesitate to subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment or like this video, and especially provide me with feedback if you have any thoughts on the game. Also, I am having a contest on my Instagram account, which is also Charlie Westeros by the account name anyway, and you can find it in the info bar below. So please check it out. If you do not have Instagram, then fear not, I will likely be doing a giveaway on my YouTube channel at some point in the future. And oh, last but not least, I will be very likely having a group discussion of the recently released, I guess, history book of Game of Thrones, The World of Ice and Fire, probably this weekend around on Saturday at 3 p.m. EST, so East, not Central Time. Well, the time zone that Toronto and that whole area is set in, Eastern Standard Time. There you go. But yeah, I will update you guys on that very soon with a more exact time and date if need be, and we're still deciding as to which channel to have it on, but you guys will know soon enough. Anyway, stay tuned for that, and now without further ado, here is the very beginning of the game, so enjoy.
The trout in the towers, the wolves dropped the fish and they all ran away. The trout he flopped off for hours and hours, was the wall. Another wall betrayed. Two weddings brought on by beheadings, the night it comes to me. Two weddings brought on by beheadings, get all in happily.
The great Jamie Lannister, Kingslayer, Oathbreaker, brought to his knees by the men of the North.
And set free by the women. You'd think he'd done it himself the way he tells it. Lord Forrester's sword won't clean itself, you know. Make sure it's spotless this time. Lord Forrester won't be happy with blood and brains all over it. Go on, it's only blood. Now that is a proper sword.
I'll have one like it myself someday.
You? You'll never have a sword like that. I say that as a friend. And if we're being honest, you are just a squire.
I had a hand in it, you know.
A hand in what?
Capturing him.
He was nowhere near the Kingslayer at the Whispering Wood. He was so drunk he barely made it out of his tent. Next he'll tell us he caught Tyrion too.
So what really happened?
Someone caught him, I suppose. Ask any man here and they'll say it was them.
You captured the Kingslayer?
Aye. Well, I had a hand in it.
Aye. A hand round his ankle as 10 others took him down.
See? What do I tell you?
I brought him to his knees.
Lord Forrester.
Not before he dragged you halfway across the battlefield on your face.
You're questioning Norrin's honor.
I'm questioning Norrin's story, which grows more far-fetched every time he tells it.
Get your liege lord some wine. Go on. It's your job.
Right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Garrett. I'll do it. Norrin's family has faithfully served House Forrester for centuries. His honor is beyond reproach, and House Tully is forever in his debt. They've never seen a field ploughed so well as the day the Kingslayer dragged poor Norrin across the battlefield. Fetch your cup. Tonight we celebrate. To Robb Stark, the King in the North!
The King
in the North! Tomorrow, we march on Casterly Rock, and House Forrester has been given the greatest honor to lead the Young Wolf's army and ride as the vanguard!
The gods have favored us. Onward to Casterly Rock!
Aye! Death to the Lannisters! Aye!
The North remembers!
Aye!
Got it.
Yes, my lord?
I need you to keep an eye out for Roderick. As his father, I could not be more proud of the man he's become. On a night like this, men find false courage at the bottom of their cups. I'd rather he were here.
Yes, my lord.
There's also the question of what's to be done with you. It's been on my mind for a while now. Something must be done.
What do you mean?
You've served House Forrester well for several years now, but I can't expect you to squire forever. How shall I reward your loyalty? What can I offer you?
I seek nothing, my lord. Serving a noble house such as yours is reward enough.
You're far too modest, Garrett.
Whatever you believe is best, my lord.
There were those who had their doubts when your uncle put forth your name as my squire. But you've erased those doubts entirely. It would be an honor to see you riding by Roderick's side in the vanguard tomorrow. Not as a squire, but as the equal of any man who serves House Forrester. It's well deserved, Garrett. Your hard work has paid off.
Thank you, my lord. I promise. I won't let you down.
That I don't doubt. But for now, keep this between us. We're celebrating tonight. I wouldn't want the other squires to feel discouraged.
Yes, my lord.
Now go, and find Roderick if you can.
I will, my lord. Thank you.
Bloody hell.
Empty. Squire! Fetch us more wine.
Can you give me a hand? Come on, make it up to you.
Yeah, no problem.
I have been a squire longer than you.
So?
I outrank you. You should help me. Fetch more wine, scrub my armor, clean my boots. Just my luck to end up with Norrin while you serve the Lord. Let him fetch his own wine for once. He's a drunk, a liar, and an arrogant prick.
You'd better watch your tongue, Bowen. It could be much worse.
What the fuck do you know about it? Nothing is worse than Norrin. See, that's where you're lucky. Low expectations. If I'd grown up covered in pig shit, shovel and slop, well, maybe I'd think saddling his horse was the greatest honour in the Seven Kingdoms. I suppose this beats pig farming.
Don't get angry with me. We're no different, you and I.
Aye, but I'm not the son of a pig farmer. My father had dignity.
All I'm saying is, at this rate we'll never be more than this, which is nothing. The lowest of the low. For all I know, we could be squires for life.
Pulling wine around a fucking wedding.
Give it time. You'll get there.
More easy for you to say. Maybe if my uncle were castellan at House Forrester, I'd feel different.
Who my uncle is has nothing to do with it. How much further?
Well, it's right over there. Take your time.
You lot have drunk your share. Good thing Lord Walder's in a generous mood.
Fucking phrase.
Nice night for a wedding. Not often he finds a willing husband for one of his daughters.
Don't expect me to carry it for you, Sir Garrett.
What? What's wrong? What's gotten into you? You're acting rather odd.
You've had too much wine.
I am not carrying these by myself. Not a fucking chance.
What's wrong with him? Something the matter?
Bowen, we have to go.
You go if you're in such a rush.
We have to warn the others.
Good luck.